Okay, it is 9:46 a.m. and I had one trade with RMSL. It didn't really last that long and I just didn't like the way it was trading. I honestly don't know why I have this one in the watch list. Maybe it was popular at some point, or maybe I watched it because of this move back in April. I have no idea why I have this one added. It might have been this move here in April because it wasn't really too crazy. It's just been trading in this certain range, and the reason why it showed up in my watch list at the top is because it had a lot of trades. And on top of that, it was down a lot on the day. It was a gap down, so I thought this thing could do something nice. And it did offer something nice, but I immediately didn't like it. I was in at 932, 10,000 shares, and that was at 11.7. 11.7, I was in right here at 932. Why did I get in? Because there was a lot of people that appeared on the bid that could support it, and it was a sign that it could be a level 2 turnaround on this gap down morning panic bounce play. And I didn't get in at the best price. I was the very top of my limit. Ideally, I wanted to be in at the 14s or the 15 level, but I didn't get that part, but that's fine. At least I got in the trade. And I didn't like how, it immediately uptrended and then we already got past VWAP right here. And I just didn't feel good with that. On top of that, the level 2 wasn't that nice. When we started the uptrend, there were some big sellers showing up at the ask. And on top of that, it just doesn't really have like the best daily chart. It's not something that's been running up for a few days. Like kind of like DPLS is more ideal for a morning panic bounce play. If this one were to have a 30% gap down, I would be super interested in it. RMSL, I'm not saying it's horrible. It's just, not like some very consistent pattern of it just uptrending every single day and then it has a big red day and that can cause a lot of attention. It wasn't that nice looking, but I did get out the next minute. I don't mind this sell at all, and I actually did trade according to my dollar risk level. I got out at 933, 124. Right here was my exit. Sure, I did get the 129, but I just didn't like the price action. And worst case scenario, I'm in at 117, and it goes all the way back. It breaks this 111 level, and then I would have been out, ideally at 111. If not, yeah, like just right at 11 flat, and I would be down $7. I did make, I guess $7 from this trade. Yeah, if it had more, things going for it, I would have held longer, but it didn't really play out that nicely. I did see this. I was slightly interested in this, but I didn't like it too much afterwards, but this one did work out. I could have been in at 11.9 and it did get to the same level again. So I'll keep watching this, but there are big sellers at the ask. It wasn't that bad of a attempt at all, especially to start off the week. And at the moment, there's nothing else that I'm interested in. Okay, it is 10:05 and I want to make an update for the other setups. I did have an interest with AABB. If I was watching it for a longer period of time, I probably would have been able to have traded this. And even if I were to have been in at 11.7, I wouldn't have had enough of shares. I should have had 4,000 shares because I would have made $10 risk level. And I think it would be worth it for this. The idea is that it had a very crappy morning panic bounce play. I had no interest in trading it. I didn't like the way it traded. But it did do something. It went from 11.6 to 12. And then when it came back right here near the level that it previously was here, the idea is that I could be in at 11.7. And worst case scenario, I'm out if it breaks 11.5, maybe 11.4. And that would be, I guess, maybe 3,000 shares, and then I would be at like a $9 loss, which is close to a $10 risk level. And it wasn't until here when the bids stacked up and it looked super nice, and then it did make a move to 18, almost 19, and it hasn't been doing very much since. But that would have been a setup. If I saw for a longer period of time, I would have traded for sure. And as for DPLS, it did do this thing where it breaks the morning range of 699, but I didn't like the way it did it. It was all ugly looking and it didn't look very sustainable. Maybe if it breaks out of this range at 71 and it looks clean, I'll be interested in it, but At this point, I don't want to do anything with it. And as for RMSL, yeah, this one actually worked out. I could have taken it right here. I did think about it, but I didn't like how there were so many sellers at the ask, and there still are, but there was a big bidder at some point right here, and it helped it push it up all the way to the 138 level, which is pretty cool because 12 to 13 is about 8%, so that's not bad. That gives a lot of room, but I'm very happy with that first trade. I could have considered this one right here, but I don't mind missing this one because I didn't like the price action. And yeah, that's really about it for right now. I'll keep looking. These trend lines were from another day. I'll make an update later, but those were the other ideas that I had right now. I don't see anything really nice right now. Alright, it is 8:50 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I am up on the day $7, trading RMSL for a gap down morning panic bounce play. It is a bit hard to see now, but this was essentially the trade, a buy at 117 when I saw the level 2 turnaround, and ideally I would have been in at a better price, but that was the top of my limit, and that's where I got failed. It did make a move to that level just under 13, and it did downtrend, and this did work out in that it did turn around, and it actually got further, right? As you can see right here, here was a higher low, and it went really high. I mean, it went from, you know, like 118-ish as high as 154. That's a lot in terms of percent difference, but I don't mind missing it too much because I just didn't like the price action and how there were so many people on the ask with a lot of size. But it's nice to see that it did something. Maybe I could have considered a breakout over this 13 level, but the way it did this is kind of ugly looking. Maybe when it came back and then started the uptrend, maybe that would have been something better, but I don't mind missing the rest of it because it just wasn't that ideal looking. Nothing with AABB, nothing with DPLS towards the end of the day, and I do regret not looking at AMC because it did offer a really nice move. This is something that I'd like to try at some point where it has like a run towards the morning and then it kind of works itself towards a breakout in the afternoon. And I like it right here when it finally breaks past the level, it uptrends a little and then it comes back right to the original breakout level at this 2630 level, and then it made a move from 26 to 29. So that's really nice. That's like what, I don't know, that's like at least a 10% move. That's something I want to be a part of. I'm going to have to watch AMC and maybe GME as well. That's all I have for today. I'm very happy that I had a nice percent gain. It was just under 6%, but definitely I should have probably have had this in mind because I did see AMC and GME starting to do some kind of a nice ramp up after it got as low as it did here with AMC and the volume was kicking in. So I do regret that, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way I traded today, and I did stick to my dollar risk level too.